G'day, human geography class, it's Red Reptiles here. I just came back from the land down under and we'll bring you on an animal expedition. So sit down, hold on tight, we'll see some awesome animals. Alright guys, so before I start showing you any cool animals at all, I just wanted to thank you guys for being a part of this school year with me. I really did enjoy AP Human, like as a family together. We kind of created a family environment, that's what I really appreciated. Whether we roasted Edgar, we roasted whoever in the class. We talked about Africa, refugees, gentrification, maquiladoras. I really did enjoy the class, so I want to thank you guys for that. Alright guys, so the first animal I'm going to show you is the bearded dragon, which comes from Australia, as I have it circled on the right. This species of lizard comes from the outback, and there is certain localities. This is a locality closer to the mainland, but still resides in the outbacks of Australia. Now, as far as diet goes, these animals like to eat crickets. They are insectivores, but they also have their tendencies to eat greens, so I feed them anywhere from lettuce, collard greens, zucchini, blueberries, carrots. You have to keep the diet diverse. Just like that, if you were to keep eating the same thing every day, it kind of get boring. So same aspect and just ideology goes for the animals. Now Australia is a continent that has so many species of animals. I do own a couple of them and I'm going to show you those here, but this is one of the many species of Australia. Alright, so the next animal I'm going to show you is the carpet python. Also comes from Australia, so give me one moment as I get it. This is one of my female carpet pythons. I do own 3 and one is a male, which I'll show you in a little bit just because he's really cool. This is a het albino female carpet python, means she's heterozygous for the gene albino, which is a recessive trait. But since they do come from Australia, that's what I'm here to talk to you about, where it comes from, so I got to relate it to geography. Thanks, Mr. Yellow. But here we go. So this animal here is currently eating medium rodents, so it's a rat about this big. It seems pretty big, but she can take it because snakes can hinge their jaw twice the size of the item that they're going to intake, so that's why generally you see smaller snakes eating bigger prey. Oh, how you doing? But basically this is one of the species of snakes in Australia, but Australia does have a lot of species of snakes and animals in general, as I said before. So this is one of my female carpet pythons. Alright guys, so like I said, I wanted to show you the male carpet python, which is right here as he's wrapped around my arm. This is an albino carpet python. Now the reason why I have a male that's albino and 2 females that are het is so that, as you guys know, I do deal with the breeding of these animals. So that's why I have a visual recessive male, so I can breed it to the heterozygous females to produce 50% chance of producing something like this or something like the prior one that I showed you. Now I also want to show you a different colored one, is because you guys can see that it's the same species but it has such genetic diversity, or just morphs like we like to call it in the reptile world, or however you want to call this. But basically I just wanted to share this with you. Now the reason you guys may be asking to yourself is, hey Javon, why is the snake moving around so much? It's because this particular species of snake is semi-arboreal, so meaning it resides in the trees and on the ground, so it likes to be terrestrial level or aerial level. So basically they have that different option whenever they want to be in the trees or they want to be on the ground. So this is the carpet python from Australia. Alright guys, so the next animal up does not come from Australia, but it does come from New Caledonia. Now New Caledonia has many islands. There's the mainland and then there's the Pine Isles. These species of geckos come from the Pine Isles. There also is some of it you can find on the mainland, but I'll explain to you that when I bring out the animal. Alright guys, this is the Crested Gecko, or the eyelash gecko, as you guys can see, because it has eyelashes. Another reason why it's called the Crested Gecko, because it has these nice crests going down the whole dorsal area. Now this is one of the many species of geckos that resides in the New Caledonian Islands. This one specifically, the Pine Isles. Now the reason why I'm showing you these geckos is because they were thought to be extinct at one point actually, and then it took about 10 years for them to discover this animal once again and figure out that it was not extinct. But since the island is it's small, but it's actually big, because these geckos are very tiny, to be honest, and it's kind of hard. If this thing was camouflaging itself inside the area, you would not be able to see it. So I do have 2 other species of geckos that I'm going to show you that also reside from the Pine Isles, so stay tuned for that. Now these next 2 geckos right here are the chahuas, the Pine Isle chahuas. They do have a cousin that lives in the mainland islands, also known as Grand Terra, but these are one of the bigger species of geckos. They still have a little bit of growing to do, but they also do have another species of gecko that lives on the islands of New Caledonia. It is also called the Leachianus gecko, and that reaches about almost 2 feet in length for a gecko. So imagine, it's not even a full-grown lizard, it's just a gecko species. But these also have prehensile tails, also called the mossy tail geckos. Now all these geckos I'm showing you right now, they're nocturnal species, so that means that they're more active at night, right? But their colors change a lot. So they look pretty similar now, but when these guys are fired up, their colors really do come out, and all these reds and greens become very bold. So that's something cool about these species of geckos, that they can camouflage as they go on. Next animal here is the gargoyle gecko, also coming from New Caledonia. This is probably like the third, fourth largest species of gecko on the island. Now, a fun fact about these guys is that, for the most part, in all New Caledonian species of geckos, the female only lays 2 eggs, right? But she can give you up to 12 eggs a year, meaning the chances of getting a male is very slim, because it's a 1 in 16 chance of producing a male, and I do own 2 of them. But imagine just the rarity of these animals in the wild as far as gender-wise. But this is also such a really nice species of animal because they come in such diverse colors. Basically, all these animals come in diverse colors, but this is also what we call a red stripe because of these red patterns going down its back. Now, if this animal was fired up, like I said previously, this would be really bold. But for right now, since it's daytime, they're a little bit chilling. But this is the gargoyle gecko. Alright guys, so these next animals I'm about to show you come from Asia right here. But let's be honest, what would a segment on Asia be without our main man Siddhartha? Like, this is the boy, the legend himself, like reconstructing religion as you know it. Also, Mr. Martin's BFF, like Siddhartha meditation, coming quietly before you go into class. Now, he's gonna help me and show you guys all the animals I own from Asia. The first animal here is my Asian water monitor, Everest. She came to me from Sumatra. Now, she will reach lengths up to 8 feet, depending. I mean, it could stay a little smaller, but it's still a big lizard. She is also, actually not her herself, but the species of lizard is famous for being on the show Jessie on Disney Channel, aka Mr. or Mrs. Kipling. Now, this is such an amazing animal, super inquisitive, super intelligent. Like, the brain capacity this animal has is out of this world. She has escaped many times from this cage, but don't worry, as you guys can see, she is back in consignment and in closed doors. So this is Everest, my Asian water monitor. Alright guys, so this next species here is the blood python. This particular morph is a T positive albino blood python. So it's a tyrosinase positive, so basically it's lacking any dark pigment. Now, if I get bit in this portion, is because these animals, they're not aggressive, they're just more defensive. No animal is aggressive, all animals are defensive. They cannot communicate to us by saying, hey, please back off, I'm not in the mood. But these are such beautiful animals, I just thought I'd bring it up close to the camera, just the colors itself. Wait, what's that, Siddhartha? Huh? Mr. Martin gets too much homework? I'm gonna have to agree on that one. So, this is the blood python from Sumatra. Alright guys, this is Zombie, my veiled chameleon or Yemen chameleon. Now, chameleons in general are not happy campers, as you guys can see, because they are very delicate creatures, do not like to be messed with. But for the sake of the video and sake of my grade, I was like, why not show a chameleon? Now, you guys must be saying, wow, chameleons change colors. Well, you're wrong. Chameleons do not change colors. Chameleons get lighter or darker, but they do not turn orange if they're on an orange or something. They just turn lighter or darker as their colors. He right now is very dark because he is stressed out, but on the bright side, he matches my t-shirt. So this is Zombie, my veiled or Yemen's chameleon. Ok, para esta parte del video vamos a hablar en español porque los animales vienen de Sudamérica. I'm just kidding, guys. You guys probably didn't understand me except for, you know, my Hispanics there. Shout out to Almendra, Santiago, George, Edgar, everybody that speaks Spanish. Can't get all of you. But these animals come from South America, specifically Suriname and Argentina. So we're going to start with Suriname and then we're going to go into Argentina. Alright guys, so this is Haunted Mansion, my big female Suriname red-tailed boa. Now, this is probably the heaviest body snake I do own, and she will only get bigger, but she is such a sweetheart. I honestly love this animal. This is something that I like to take out and show people, just because of the impressive size that it has, and just the overall, it's just an impressive snake, to be honest. Now, the reason they call it red-tailed boa is because of the redness on the tail. Some of them do have it more than others. She does not. Now, she is another semi-arboreal species, so like I said previously, in the trees, not in the trees. Now, a good thing about boas is that these snakes give live birth. It's one of the only species of snakes, or kind of subspecies itself, that gives live birth. The boids specifically, which is the scientific name, boid. Now, she last July gave me 15 babies. I did keep one of them, so I'm going to show you that one now. Alright guys, this is the only baby that I kept. Now she is almost a year old, so that's why she's a lot bigger. But see, her reds are a lot more defined than her mother's. Now these snakes can reach up to 14 feet. Now they're not pure Surinams, the ones that I own. The mom is Suriname times Hog Island, and Hog Island basically is an island of, and on that island the species of snake there are a lot smaller, but Surinams do reach great size. Now this one itself has Hog Island, Suriname, and Peruvian in it because the father was a Peruvian redtail, and Peruvians do reach a lot bigger size than usually the boas, like other boas in South America. Now this is such, I just really enjoy these snakes because of the intelligence behind them and just the overall size. This is a pretty big snake, honestly, but it's not big enough that you can't handle it by yourself, so that's why it's such an awesome snake. Alright guys, so this next species right here is the Argentine black and white Tegu from Argentina. Now this species of lizard itself, or the Tegu, comes from basically all of South America, but this one particular locality is Argentina, so shout out to Almendra. I know you're really gonna enjoy this guy. But he is a baby. When they're babies, their colors are a bit greenish. Now he's getting out of that phase, but he'll turn into a full black and white, hence the name black and white Tegu. Now there is many species, like I said, from Colombia, Chicoans, I mean they come from anywhere basically. Now this is such a very intriguing lizard because they are also very smart. Basically all monitor lizards have such a high brain capacity. Now this diet on this animal is rodents. When they're little, insects. They also like to eat some fruits, no citrus because of the citrus levels, and it's the acidity that really harms them. But they can also eat seafood as well, so they have a very big diverse diet that they do eat. So this is the Argentine black and white Tegu. Alright, so this next species of reptile is one snake that I do own and is from America. So yeah, let's enjoy this one. It's the California king snake. Alright, so this is the California king snake, ranging from California all the way to Florida. I mean, the names vary as you go because we have such many king snake species in the United States. We also do have a lot of reptiles here. Now, the name king snake comes from its ability to be able to eat other snakes, such as the rattlesnake, which is right here, but it's a statue. Wait, right there, yeah, right there, that's a statue. I do not know any venomous snakes. Now, this species of snake is a colubrid, so it's not a python. It does still constrict its prey, but it's not as sizable or girthy as a python. This snake is full grown and it will stay this slender. This animal currently is eating just small rats. So I know what you might be saying, no Africa, but I saved the best for last. These next animals come from Africa. Shout out to Ms. Diallo. Alright, so animal number one is the Savannah Monitor from Africa. This guy, his name is Dino. I've owned Dino for about 6 years now. He is a rescue lizard. The guy got him from when he was about this big. Kind of didn't really take well care of him, and as you can see now, he's a fat boy. But Dino is a Savannah Monitor, also called the Bosque Monitor. Now they range from pretty much the savannas of Africa. So this animal can reach up to 5 feet, but he's almost full grown. He has a little bit more growing to do. But just another fat lizard. Oh, as you can see, Dino does not like to be carried. Alright guys, so this next species is the ball python. This is an albino ball python, also known as Sparky. This is my first snake ever. I've owned him for about 7 years, and this is pretty much what started the breeding of the snakes. Now my collection consists of, just the majority of it is ball pythons, so I don't really own so much species of snakes, but I've pretty much shown you everything that I've owned. Now, for me to fit in all the ball pythons that I do own in this video is going to take too long, so I don't want to take up your time. But Sparky here is a recessive trait because he carries albinism, and he has produced a bunch of eggs for me, which I'm actually going to show you. Well, he hasn't produced them, but he's fathered the eggs. Like, the females are the ones who produced it. But I'm going to show you those eggs here later in the video, just so you guys can see pretty much what a snake egg looks like. This is the ball python. Right here, this is my incubator, which houses the eggs that I produce. Here are the ball python eggs, like I promised to show you. Now, snake eggs in general are more leathery than chicken eggs because they're not as calcified. So therefore, the snakes, when they do hatch, they hatch with an egg tooth, and they basically break out of the leathery surface and just come into the world. Alright guys, so the last animals for this video are the Madagascar giant day geckos, aka the Crested Gecko, so they can save you 15% or more on your car insurance while being very pretty at the same time. This tank here is a live planted tank, and I want to just demonstrate what I would do daily, which is spray the tank down, because these animals, they really do need higher humidity than pretty much the usual animal. All the geckos that I do own require humidity, and that's just because where they come from, the temperatures are slighter and colder, so the humidity really helps them out. Also, being that it's a live plant tank, the plants need to drink water. So this is the Madagascar Argentine gecko. That's the male, and the female is kind of in the back. You can see her tip. Hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching and just giving me your attention throughout this project. I really enjoyed making it. I tried to do my best as possible to explain everything in depth, but if I did, it'd be a really long video. So Siddhartha, Ready Reptiles, we out.